people, happy Independence Day to Nigerians at home and abroad. I am dedicating this episode, actually we are dedicating this episode to celebrating Nigerians. I'm sorry to my people that are not Nigerians, but hey, our government gives us such a bad rapport that people don't always realize how awesome we are as a people, how amazing Nigerians are. You know, regular Nigerians continue to make us proud at home and abroad. And of course, we have a great heritage as Nigerians. Our diversity cannot be compared to any other countries. For real, Nigerians are a very beautiful people. I mean, just look at us. You get what I'm saying? Every single ethnic group, we are a very beautiful people. I love when I see videos like this, you know, that showcase the beauty of Nigerians. You know, these videos are another testament of how creative we are as a people. And you know, believe it or not, there's also something called the Nigerian spirit. Amen, somebody. That is the spirit that always finds a way, regardless of the obstacles. Nigerians will find a way. I'm telling you, it is the reason why we excel in all spheres of life. We are a very strong people because we've been through a lot as Nigerians. Our eyes have seen so. Amen. And that is why Nigerians easily do well abroad whenever they move to a place where there is stable electricity, running water and all that. So we are a very strong people. I just love the Nigerian spirit. He always finds a way. Wherever there is no way, Nigerians will get there. They will find a way and then they will dominate. Amen, somebody. You know, this Nigerian spirit is what makes us stand out wherever we are. I'm grateful to Nollywood, by the way, that has put us on all the maps that you can think of. Thank you to all the Nigerian actors and actresses at home and abroad. People like Stella Damasos in America. Nigerian filmmakers at home and abroad. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you to Nigerian musicians who are making waves, winning Grammys. I'm especially grateful to Nigerian comedians on social media. As in, these people are like our therapists. Because they make us laugh. They continue to ginger our spirit, even as our politicians continue to screw us up. These people are the reason why a lot of Nigerians are still laughing. I'm really grateful to all the Nigerian YouTubers. You guys are making waves. Like, Nigerian YouTubers are on top of their game. Thank you so much, every single one of you. We appreciate you. Keep us motivated, you know. I'm grateful to Nigerian news presenters like Dr. Damages, Pararan Mock News, Fairly Used News by Frank Donga. Please subscribe to their channels if you are yet to, because these people incorporate humor just to make news easier for us regular people to digest. The more the better, because we cannot all be silenced. Amen, somebody. Also, thanks to Nigerian bloggers. It's like you guys don't sleep. Instablog Naija, Tunde Ednot. I'm Team Tunde Ednot, by the way, I like to confess. His page is like a TV channel of its own. I'm grateful to all the outstanding Nigerians. We've celebrated so many of them on this show, like the Nigerian basketball players that made it into the NBA, making millions of dollars, making their family members proud. Ignatius Asaba, the 22-year-old Nigerian guy who got a job in Finland by showing off his drone skills on TikTok. The amazing Nigerian girls that turned waste into fashion in Lagos. Talk about creativity. We featured Victory Yinka Banjo, who got multiple scholarship offers from around the world, showing how smart Nigerians can be. She is in Nigeria, by the way. Faith Odunsi, who beat multiple other countries in order to win the global math competition. Nigerian Paralympians that trained so hard and won so many medals, even more medals than the Nigerian Olympic team. Thank you so much, guys. This just shows that even in disability, the Nigerian spirit stays strong. We have Nigerian doctors and nurses in pretty much all the top hospitals around the world. If you're a Nigerian nurse or a Nigerian doctor that you are watching this show, thank you so much, guys. You are making us proud everywhere you are. Father, God bless you. In fact, if you're a Nigerian that is not doing yahoo yahoo or scamming anybody and you are doing well where you are, in fact, you should be proud of yourself. I am very proud of every one of you. I'm grateful to all my viewers. Thank you so much, all of you watching me. You're not doing Uncle Bonnie and Timmy. All my fathers and mothers in the Lord. Every single one of you. Thank you for watching this show, by the way. I'm just grateful to all the Nigerians that are doing amazing things. We cannot mention all of them on this show. You should be proud of yourself as well. I am proud of you. And most importantly, I am so grateful to Nigerians all around the world that stood up against brutality in Nigeria. All the people that participated in the NSAS protest last year, you guys made history, whether you know it or not. Thank you so much. And the biggest shout out, of course, goes to those who paid the ultimate price for protesting, for speaking out against our leaders, for speaking out against injustices in Nigeria. You are never forgotten. And I believe that someday we will get it right as a nation. I'm not just talking about our leaders, by the way, but also about us, the regular people, because our leaders usually come from among us. If Nigeria will be better, it has to start with me and you. And hopefully, more good people like you that are watching this show will join politics. And I guess happy Independence Day to Nigerian president as well, Buhari. You know, I do well. I don't even know how to put this, but for Independence Day speech, the man said no Nigerian government since 1999 has done what he has done in the last 6 years. I was like, wow. wow, like wow. And you know, Nigerians were like, yeah, like that's true. Like you actually absolutely right that you got that right, because no government has done as much havoc as the Buhari's administration since 1999. So you're absolutely right, Mr. President. Happy Independence Day to you and your wife. Thanks again for watching this show all these years. Happy Independence Day, my people. You guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Now, speaking of Nigerians doing incredible things, making us proud at home and abroad, huge shout out to my very own father, Kabiyesi. That only that of Idera, I was shocked that Kabiyesi watches this show. Can you imagine? Oba James Oladipo, Aroko, Olaburemo, Ajagunbade the first. My father, Kadepelori Kipata, Opelesi Obeni. Now I need help getting up. Koledo, come and bow for the king. Go, Janet. Never mind. Now, for those who may be wondering, yes, he's the one. Of course, former Nigerian wrestler, the African Tiger. Yes, so this man was so popular in the 80s, representing Nigeria at the Wild West Wrestling until 1989 when he injured his neck. He went back home after that. He had moved to the US since 1977, went to college in Georgia. Anyway, after he got injured, he went back to Nigeria for about 10 years. He's originally from Idera in Kwara State. Shout out to Idera people. But then he came back to the US, living a regular life. And guess what? From 1999, he started working in New York as a tour bus driver. Those tour buses that you guys see. Maybe some of you have even run into my father while he was driving a double-decker. I'm telling you. Now guess what? On May 10th, 2004, he was crowned the king of Idera against all his protests because he did not want to be king. He didn't want that responsibility. Idera is a town of about 12,000 people, he said. And so he didn't want that responsibility. He didn't want to be king. He wanted to be in New York, you know, living a regular life. But the town insisted that he has to be king. He's the youngest of 9 children. His uncle was king, and then when his uncle died, his dad was supposed to be the next king, but his dad had also died. His dad actually died before his uncle. His dad was supposed to be king before his uncle, but we're not going into that story. His dad had told him in 1994 that he would be the next king. And he said absolutely no, that he's not interested, that he would not be king, but his dad insisted that he had to be the next king. And that was why he actually ran from Nigeria back to New York to drive a bus. He said he just wanted to take care of his own family. He has 10 children of his own, by the way, to take care of. And he didn't want to be a king. But when he went for his parents' funeral outing, both his parents, the town insisted that he had to be king. So he gave them a condition. He said, well, I don't have any other business that I'm doing in Nigeria. I don't have any other means of income. I'm a bus driver in New York. I'm not about to just sit here waiting for the pennies that come from the state government. You know, usually the state government gives some allocation to kings, but it's not a lot of money. It's actually nothing for the kings themselves to live on, not talk about using that to develop their towns. So he said, I'm not about to sit here waiting for the pennies that come from the state government. I will only be king if you would let me spend 6 months in a year back in New York driving a bus. And then the town said, sure, why not? And then he called his job in New York and asked whether they would agree to that arrangement. And they said, of course, you're now a king. If you want to work only 6 months in a year, sure, you can do that. So ladies and gentlemen, since 2004, that was how Oba Idera would spend 6 months at home being king. And then for 6 months in a year, he would take off his crown, go back to New York, driving a double-decker bus. And why his story inspires me is the fact that he takes the money that he makes of his own to not just take care of his family, but to take care of his hometown. Remember, he has 10 children of his own to take care of, but he also decided to take care of his people, all from his salary as a bus driver. I asked him what motivates him, what inspires him to do this, and he said, well, he grew up watching his dad making an impact in his town. His hometown was founded by his grandfather, and so he said he grew up watching his dad making an impact in his town, even though his dad was never king. The first road that led to Idera was constructed by his dad. The first hospital, a dispensary, was built by his dad. The first post office was built by his dad. The first school in Idera was built by his dad. All this in the 60s and 70s. So guess what? Every time he gets paid in New York, he sends some money home. He said that the biggest problem at that time in his town was water scarcity. So the first thing he did was to sink a couple of boreholes in his town. And then he got some of his friends, some of his co-workers to help pay for more boreholes. And then he said when Kwara State government heard that the new king was digging boreholes for his people, the government also came and sank more boreholes. So now his town has about 9 boreholes. He also tore down and renovated the hospital built by his dad. He renovated the school built by his dad, and then he built more classrooms. He bought a transformer for his town so that they could have electricity. On a yearly basis for about 4 years, he said he would rent a grader and grade the road to his hometown while they continue to wait for the government of the state to tear the road. Unfortunately, the government of Kwara State is yet to tar the road to his hometown since 2004 that he's been king. I think they just forgot. So Kwara State government, we are begging you, please tar the road to Idera. A lot of people want to go and see what Oba Idera is doing. God bless you, Kwara State government. In any case, every year he will grade the road from Owode to Idera as they continue to wait on the government to fix their road. He said until erosion made it impossible. He said now it has become way too expensive for one person to do because the road is so bad right now. He bought water pumps for farmers and encouraged more people to go into farming in Idera. He had professionals come to examine their soil texture in Idera, and they found out that their land is really, really good and fertile for cashew farming. And within 3 years, they started producing cashew in Idera. He gave an acre of land to anybody interested in cashew farming. As a matter of fact, today Idera is now one of the largest producers of cashew in Kwara State. He invested in their gari production to the point where gari Idera became so popular. Now they have gari production stations. There is so much that I could say, but his biggest pride, he told me, is his wife, the beautiful Olori of Idera, Olori Roslyn Abosede Buremo, my mother. In fact, let me play his words about his beautiful wife.
Oh, my dear, if I might say, she made a big difference in my life. She's been like my guardian angel. We've done everything together. I mean, literally everything. From raising the kids to being on the throne. She's my greatest advisor. She's my rock. And I really do appreciate her. I love her more than anything else.
I'm not going to cry. Kabiyesi is in love. Thank you so much, my mother. We appreciate you on this show. He talked at length about his wife and how she empowers women in the town. As a matter of fact, every Christmas, she would distribute food from house to house, making sure that people have more than enough to celebrate Christmas. They literally will pack vehicles and they will be giving food to people. Everything that I've mentioned, by the way, that he did, he said they did it together. His biggest thing was the fact that she made a lot of sacrifice because, you know, they were supposed to be in New York together. But because he's king now, the wife had to stay back in Kwara State to raise the children while he went to work in New York. So he said that she made a huge sacrifice in raising the kids while he wasn't around most of the time. He also wanted me to give a shout out to his kids for putting up with the fact that he was gone most of the time, trying to make ends meet in New York while they were growing up in Nigeria.
Back home, I'm not supposed to drive myself. I'm not supposed to cook. I'm not supposed to do anything on my own. Everything is supposed to be done for me. I've given all of myself to be able to make sure that life is better for the community. I drop everything about myself. Even when Shile came, my son, when he came 2 weeks ago, he couldn't believe where I live. I live in a one room, he couldn't believe it.
By the way, he raised all his children on the same salary. Today, 4 of them now have doctorate degree in pharmacy. He has 2 of them in pre-med school. The youngest is done with high school. I mean, seriously, like I said, Kabiyesi did all of this and also impacted thousands of lives in his town, all by driving a bus in New York. I'm sorry to say, but Kabiyesi is so cool. Like he's like one of those cool dads, one of those cool uncles that you can just talk about all kinds of things with Kabiyesi. You will not even remember that he's a king. I mean, he knows he's a king, he knows his royalty, but then when Kabiyesi gets down with you, you guys will be talking like, my father, God bless you, we appreciate you. He even has time for small girls like myself. I am so glad that Victor and I got to visit him and his wife in Brooklyn. Put up our photo with, thank you so much, my father. So for those living in New York, I am so sorry that I'm just telling you guys this story because I know you might want to meet Kabiyesi because Kabiyesi is now moving to Kentucky, but I know that he's coming back to New York in November. I asked him if he's still driving the bus. He said, of course, that he's allowed to keep his job for as long as he wants. So above all, Kabiyesi turned 65 last month. Ladies and gentlemen, doesn't he look good? Like seriously, 65? Doesn't he look good? I'm telling you, black don't crack. If anybody would like to say happy birthday to my father or give him a shout out for all the amazing job that he's done in his hometown, this is his Instagram page. When I interviewed him for this story, I said, Kabiyesi, are you on Instagram? He said, no. I said, well, today you get on Instagram. So he said, of course, why not, that he will get on Instagram. And he did. So ladies and gentlemen, follow my father on Instagram. Write him on there. He is so cool. Like I said, like for real, for real. Thank you so much, Daddy, for all that you're doing. We really appreciate you. It's not just your children that appreciate you, but we are all your children. Except for Kolido, his own shakara is too much. Anyway, Nigerians in Kentucky, please help me take care of my father as he moves to Kentucky. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Guys, it's been real and I'm keeping it right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And please don't forget to follow my father as well, Laddie the African Tiger on Instagram. Until next time, I'm gonna see you all later. Peace out.